and welcome to a new edition of the Sappi Blue Couch series, when we have a chance to talk about all the latest developments in the world of Sappi, as well as taking a look at some of the most important trends in the paper industry. My name is Mariana Evenstein, and our topic today is digital printing, and also why it is far more than just another printing process. To talk about that, I'm joined by three guests today, starting with Andrea Riccardi. He is the head of product management at Durst, which is the world-leading manufacturer of advanced digital printing and production technologies. Andrea, great to have you with us today. And also from Sappi, our two colleagues today, beginning with Paola Tiso. She is head of sales digital solution, and she and her team look after coated and uncoated papers for dye sublimation printing. In case you're wondering, the main application for these types of papers are the apparel, textiles, and soft signage. And right beside her is Luis Mata. He is sales director for packaging and digital solutions, and what he does is he oversees the sales of paperboard, container board in the packaging industry, and also sublimation papers. So welcome to the three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think it's safe to say that everybody sitting here today agrees that the advantages of digital printing are essential. But maybe we can just start by getting an overview of what exactly are the advantages of digital printing. So Andrea, maybe you can do that for us.
Yes. So the advantages and the benefits of the digital printing are many, and the most important of them, I would say, are the fast turnaround, because pre-press procedures are not needed. So then with the digital printing, we can print on demand. Okay, thus the consequence is to being so cost effective, so saving cost and time, so for the production, but also the digital printing is important due to its versatility, and so one other big advantage, I would say, is the possibility to customize and personalize the production. That are I would say, the main points, the main advantages of the digital printing.
Right, so there are many advantages. You mentioned, the last thing you mentioned was customization, and I think this is really important, especially when it comes to adapting packaging for different seasons, or maybe there's other creative requirements or individual needs. Luis, can you talk to us a little bit about the importance of customization and the role that digital printing plays?
Yes, as Andrea already mentioned, customization is key, or one of the key advantages of digital printing, and especially for brand owners today. The digital printing methodology supports them in doing like seasonal campaigns, or if there is a specific event, they can create their packaging according to that. And it supports, of course, also personalization. Actually, you can reduce the unit of printing down to one.
Okay, so customization, very important to packaging, but I can imagine that it's not the only area in which it's important. Paola, maybe you can tell us about some other areas where customization is really important and digital printing can support that?
Yes, of course, with the coated and the uncoated dye sublimation paper, we touch many different application fields. Like, for example, home textiles, garments, so fashion, but also sportswear and sport equipment. It helps people to have a higher productivity in on-demand printing. We see a trend also in more repeatable productions over time, which is a very important aspect. So with digital printing, you are able to reproduce the same design over and over again.
Okay, but customization obviously isn't anything new. It's been important for brand owners always. But my impression is that with the growth of e-commerce, customization is becoming even more important. So I'd like to now turn to the world of online buying and selling, e-commerce. How does digital printing support then the e-commerce activities of customers?
Yeah, that's indeed a very good question, because actually if we take the corrugated industry today or till now, the main focus was in having a safe transport of the goods, but through the change of the point of sales, so people today going into a web shop, not going into more to a store, of course the need for brand owners to have not only customized premium packaging or first packaging, but of course also the second packaging or additional packaging. That's why digital printing especially is supporting this packaging. So at the end, let's say customers can have an unboxing experience. So the brand owner is bringing also their message not only on the web shop, but when the goods arrive at home, still you can see a differentiation on your individual packaging. And as we said at the beginning, also thanks of course to larger scale production, it supports also their costs.
And what about at your company, Andrea? What has been the impact of this growth in e-commerce that we've seen?
Yes, we have seen in the last year very big growth of the e-commerce and the online printers, and because the demand of the end user is changed, and so I think the digital printing is the right solution to satisfy the needs. So printing on demand to be faster by deliveries, and so the digital printing satisfy all these new requirements of the market.
Okay, so we're talking about printing on demand, so that makes it quicker to get the products out for delivery. You know, it makes the whole supply chain process a bit quicker. I guess you also mentioned cost effectiveness. We talked about customization. So I don't know. To me, it seems like the obvious advantages are so clear. So why isn't digital printing just used for everything, everywhere?
Okay, maybe I can answer that question. Of course, if you imagine from a garment, so a fashion perspective, big countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, and also Turkey, they still print a lot of their enormous quantities in analog printing. And of course, to shift to digital printing, you need some investment in means of machines. Nevertheless, and also I think that the awareness of having a more sustainable printing process is coming more and more. We see that trend. It has several advantages. If you think about direct printing to textile, there is a lot of toxic primer involved. You have a lot of pollution in your water, and digital printing can also save a lot of energy cost. So we see a trend to digital printing also from analog big fashion producers.
In the packaging industry, it's kindly different, because in the past, or the mindset of the packaging industry was on large, big scales productions. So there was always the thought that actually digital printing is much more expensive. But actually this is not the case. Digital printing is getting more and more cost efficient. And as we are seeing today also large industrial machines coming from the OEMs into the market, this will for sure reduce, let's say, the cost of unit. And in future, also through new investments, all the packaging industry will actually increase their volume within digital printing.
Okay, so you think that there's going to be continued growth in digital printing. Yes. And Andrea, do you agree with that?
Absolutely, I agree with Luis, because we have to consider, and especially in the packaging sector or market, there is a big potential for digital printing, because so we have to thinking about some, I would say, sectors or segments like the large format printing, so sign and advertising, where the digital printing is since years and years consolidated. But in other sectors like packaging, for example, now due to the technological evolution, I would say, the digital printing becomes very interesting for them, for the advantages that we mentioned before. And so at the beginning, the digital printing was interesting for short runs, but it's no longer so. So I mean, now with single pass solutions, or also with multipass scanning printers, we can achieve so high productivity, and then the technology, the digital printing technology, is now suitable also for mid and long runs. Then, so absolutely yes, the digital printing will grow in the future.
Well, one issue that's growing in importance, of course, is sustainability. I think most companies seem to be moving into more sustainable practices in how they do things. And I'm just curious to understand how digital printing compares to traditional processes when we're looking at sustainability. Like, which one is more environmentally friendly then?
I think, like I said before, you have less pollution, so the complete process of digital printing is absolutely not environmentally impacting. You work with paper, you work with water-based inks, which is a big advantage. You use less energy. You don't have waste of material during your production, because you only produce really what the customer needs. And again, you are able to repeat similar designs over and over again, yeah, without any pollution whatsoever. So it's really important to underline, and not only to follow the trends, but I think that companies like Durst and Sappi are working together to be trendsetters in this. Yeah.
Yes, sustainability is a big argument and a delicate argument also, because we know that in the last year, actually, this needs to be careful about sustainability, eco and green, becomes even more stronger. And so sustainability, as Paola mentioned, is related, for example, to the inks which are used in the process to have certification for the ink, or moving to water-based technology ink. But sustainability is not only the ink, because we have to take care on the whole process, or the entire process, in order to make it even more efficient. So pay attention on the energy, so in terms of energy savings, cost, and so efficiency improvement.
Okay, so it does sound like Durst takes sustainability seriously. Can you tell us a little bit more in detail how this impacts your company's offerings then?
Durst is very careful and pay a lot of attention on this topic, on eco-sustainability. First of all, so in the related to the inks, so we offer our inks certified with a certain certification, and so we know also the important to move towards so water-based ink, so dye sublimation ink, and also water-based inks, but also the UV ink are Green Guard certified, and then are respect towards the norms and the eco-sustainability, but also taking care about the entire process, so making much more efficient so the entire process from the beginning up to the finishing.
I have one final question for the three of you, and it's about collaboration. I know that Durst and Sappi already work very closely together. So I'd like to hear from each of you, if I may, how you think OEMs and media producers need to be aligned so that they can then offer customers optimal solutions. So tell me a little bit about the process of collaboration and the importance of it. Maybe we can start with you, Luis?
Yeah, well, indeed, a collaboration between OEM suppliers and the media producers like ink or we as paper producers make a lot of sense. Because first of all, when the OEM is bringing a new machine into the market, we can already make sure that the paper which will be used or the ink supplier, the ink what will be used matches, let's say, the requirements of the market. At the end, for the customer, it gives the advantage that they don't need to align with each of the individual ones, but once he gets the machine installed by the OEM, he has already all the benefits.
And Andrea, how do you view, so we had the Sappi perspective, and now I'd love to hear from you.
Yes, from our perspective, so I think the cooperation with material supplier and also ink supplier is very, very important. It's important to build up a synergy. And so in order to being able to offer to our customer the right solution and give him the more worth and the more advantages than for the final application.
And Paola, I'd love to give you the final word. Your thoughts about collaboration?
Yeah, I think it's really key. It's not only key for companies like Durst or Sappi, but it's also key for our customers. Not only offering them proper solutions for their daily business, but of course working together gives a lot of opportunities also from an innovation point of view. And the more you work together, the more you are able to develop new ideas, to develop new innovating solutions for the customer, and that is really a great benefit for them. Yeah.
Paola Tiso, Luis Mata from Sappi, and Andrea Riccardi from Durst. Thank you to the three of you for sharing all of your insights. A pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, thanks to you for watching. We hope you do join us again for the next episode of the Sappi Blue Couch series. Until then, take care, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.